Hello and welcome to another action figure review. Today I'll be reviewing the Halo 3 Hunter figure, but before I begin I'd like to thank filmmaker Mike for helping me with a few camera questions that make these reviews possible. So if you're watching filmmaker Mike, then thanks for all that help and don't hesitate to ask if you need a small favor in return. When I got this figure, I also got a second Hunter, because Hunters always travel in pairs and look kind of stupid to only have one. I'm probably going to leave this second Hunter in packaging until I decide to do a diorama. So, I think it looks kind of nice in there. It's a good little display. I'll just read the back of the box now. Hunters are heavily armored collectives of worm-like organisms united under a common consciousness. They wear nearly impenetrable armor made from an unknown substance and are feared for their speed and incredible strength. These living tanks are frequently deployed as shock troops to scatter opposing forces. So if you've ever played a Halo game, then you probably have a pretty good idea about how big a Hunter is. But just a little size comparison here. This is a Halo 3 Series 1 Master Chief figure, and this is a Star Wars The Clone Wars basic clone trooper. So as you can see, the Hunter is pretty big. It's in scale with the Halo 3 figures. Very large compared to the Star Wars or G.I. Joe figures. So that's a good thing that they made it the right size, because I remember in Halo 2, when they came out with the Hunter figure, they were only about maybe 4 or 5 inches tall, so it's nice to see they made it accurate this time. The figure features, it says 28 points of articulation. I'm not going to count, but if you want to, then you can. It has a swivel head, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, and then these little claws underneath the shield are also ball jointed. The little claws, cannon-like things for the fuel rod gun they can open and close. All the spikes on the back of the figure, including the ones that you don't put on when you get the figure, are also ball jointed and are also very sharp. If you have this or you want to give it to someone when they get it yourself, very sharp. I mean, going like this, pretty pointy. I mean, can actually hurt yourself if you just trip and fall with it. But technically it has a ball jointed torso, but it barely moves back and forth and only a little bit side to side, but very hard. So, but swivel thighs, ball jointed knees, and the first toe just goes side to side a little bit, and then this heel can go back and forth a little bit, but also side to side. For detail, the figure is pretty lacking. The only real detail is that you can see some worms in the head and also on the back. The fuel rod gun looks pretty cool. I do like that. There is some damage you can see on the shoulder, and some more damage on the shield. Damage on the thigh, other thigh. Not really too much beyond that. The figure also, it's really annoying because when you first get the figure, the joints are really stiff, and if you move it around, unlike in the other Halo figures, like they're really stiff, and then you move them around and they get kind of loose, but they're still pretty tight, so you can get them in pretty decent positions. Here it just goes from being really tight to really loose. So, with a big heavy figure like this, you also can't put them in the crouch because the top is so heavy and the legs aren't strong enough. You can't balance it out. So I try and put them like that and just falls forward. I just opened this figure up yesterday and already the thighs are getting really, not too loose, but I mean, I can kind of bob them back and forth a little bit like that, which is kind of annoying. But I still like this figure though, because it goes well with my other Halo 3 figures. So I do recommend getting this figure, but I'm only going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I think they could have done a better job with the detail, and I also think they could have done a better job with the articulation, and you can count this in articulation if you want, but I also think they should have been able to make the figure where you could put him in that crouch pose without falling over. So, thank you for watching, guys. Tune in next time, where I plan on making a review on the Star Wars The Clone Wars Pre Vizsla Death Watch leader or commander figure. Until then, this is Plo Koon's Clone, and I hope to see you again. Also, rate, suggestions, how to make these reviews better. I heard something about the volume. I'm trying to do something about that. You'd have to buy a mic. I'm not really yelling right now, but I'm not exactly talking in a normal voice either. And I don't want to mess around with the rest of the people in this house. So, thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe if you want to see more.